Hey guys, this is Brian from A Hero's Journey podcast. This episode is actually brought to you by JPS Computers out of Oregon, SMP Inc. And for those listening out there at Rock Rage Radio, thank you so much. As they say, we are everywhere. So, Chase, this particular episode is the, what are we calling him? Like the rewind, the playing
greatest
the hits,
hits.
the greatest hits. We had Randy Couture, my buddy, on a couple of times. And Randy, there were so many cool little sound bites. And you found the love for riding Harleys and doing rides. We did that on location that started at Red Rock Harley-Davidson and that ended at the Pioneer Saloon where Steven and Stephanie own the Pioneer now, Stotts. And what is his show called? Old Man Liver? What's what?
What's what with Old Man Liver?
There we go. What's what with Old Man Liver? So anyway, Randy's got a brand new movie out right now. You can go see it in theaters. This drops, I think, right now as we put this particular episode out. You can go see Expendables 4 with Stallone and Statham and I think I saw Ice Cube is in this one and so many actors, but Randy has been in part 1, Expendables 1, 2, 3, and now 4. He plays the character Toll Road. I think that I think that's his character.
I'm gonna go with it.
You're gonna go with it?
Yeah, sure.
Well, that's my buddy, and it's cool to get to go to the movie theater. So this is the best of. It's when he sat down with us for the very first time here at Sticky Paw Studios. Then we went out on the road. And what he does with the Xtreme Couture GI Foundation, all the money, he's been raising a lot of money already. There's been a lot of rides. I've been noticing what he did the Tri-Cities. He was in Florida, in Seattle. He did here in May when you and I went out and shot that on location. Total blast. So here's some best ofs. Rewinds, playing the hits with Randy Couture and A Hero's Journey podcast.
Take the light in the winter, take it all in, see the gold in the sadness, believe in my friend. Take the light in the darkness, just take it all in, embrace the love in the madness, take it all in.
Randy Couture just sent me this, and I'm really scared to listen to it right now because what if I don't like it? How do I tell one of my good friends
How do I tell
I
him
don't
it
like it?
sucks?
And I called you up immediately and said, we're not changing a word. He matched. I walked him through the process, and you know what? He didn't even trust me on this one. He goes, so I asked Darryl Worley, and I asked so-and-so,
I
and
did.
so-and-so,
I did.
is this the real
I
process?
asked Gary Allen.
Yep.
I was like, this is how you do it too?
It is like,
Because
yeah.
it seems so backwards to me.
Why?
No.
What's backwards
Well,
about
I'd written what I thought sounded like a song, in poetry many times. But
Okay.
they come up with the riffs and,
Right.
and the
Music.
music, the tune
Then
first,
the
and then
blah, blah,
write
blah.
lyrics that inspires out of them, which is this seems completely backwards to me.
And I
But
walked.
that shows you what I know.
Yeah.
it? Hey, it worked, right?
And it
worked.
did. It ended up being the title. It's sitting up there. That's the title track. That's Elvis Monroe, Holy Water, in the corner there.
Before I ever walked out there on fight night. And so I think once you start exercising that kind of mental skill, those muscles, it becomes easier, much easier to visualize things and see things happen.
It's the power of the mind, right? The power of
Absolutely.
visualization.
It's one of the things I think a lot of us miss. What do they say? 90% of athletics is mental, but we spend, if any, less than 10% of the time working on the mental skills to deal with athletics. And the thing I wished I'd have figured out sooner was that those same mental skills apply to your daily life and to anything else that you want to accomplish. You're going to want a raise at your job and you got to go talk to your boss about that. Visualize that occurrence. See it many, many times before you actually knock on his door and go in his office. Always with that one common denominator. You see yourself getting that raise. I
Yeah.
see myself getting my
Visualize
hand
the
raised
end
every
goal.
single time. And you will have a physical response to those pictures that you put in your head. When we're shooting, we're all getting tacked up, Jason's like, man, I've never driven one of these things before. Let me drive it down the alley. The stunt guys show us what they want us to do. So he gets in it, they back down the alley, and he comes flying down again. We're getting all tacked up and ready to shoot. He comes skidding in, doesn't stop. No brakes. Truck goes off the pier.
Yep.
18 feet into the water. Here goes Jason. I was like, everyone just standing there going, what the hell?
There goes the actor.
Yeah. Guy pulls out his iPhone and starts recording. He's like, can you believe this? I can't believe it. You know, it was like, what the? Of course, he takes out a cameraman, 2 cameramen and a tripod with a big red on it, $80,000 camera in the drink. Everybody pops up, so thankfully nobody hurt.
Who were some of your greatest inspirations?
My mom. She raised 3 of us as a single mom my entire life, and worked her butt off. Kept me in athletics from the time I was 5 to keep me off the streets and out of trouble, and just did a great job with it. She has an amazing work ethic. She's a very, very smart, resilient woman, and she set the bar. She set the example. She's the one that taught me how to work. I started wrestling at 10 years old to get my dad's attention. He was a deadbeat. He was never really around. I was lucky if I got to see him once a year, and usually that was hunting season, which was again one of those reasons why I like to hunt to this day, be in the outdoors and all that. We never ever killed an animal, but I got to be out in the outdoors and kind of connect with him.
Hang out with Dad.
Yeah, that's what you wanted was connection.
I thought if I walked on that wrestling mat in junior high school that maybe he'd come around, and it didn't work. But I found my calling. I found my vocation.
Wow.
The place that I seemed to fit and flourish, and those coaches became that guy. Where he wasn't, they were there. They were the ones that kicked me in the butt and made me work. They were the ones that threw an arm around me and gave me a Dutch rub and said, it's going to be all right.
Wow.
They were important for sure.
Did your dad ever come around?
I reconnected with him many years later, actually, when I started fighting.
At our shows, it was girls. This guy is like a sausage fest. Donnie's here. Like every dude is like, Randy's my hero, Randy, and I'm like,
then
guy,
Dancing with the Stars happened.
Yes,
and the
then
demographic changed.
Yeah. I'm watching Randy dance on TV, going, I'm watching Dancing with the Stars right now, supporting my buddy. You did a good job.
Thanks. Yeah, Mindy was
Who was your
always
partner?
laughs. Karina Smirnoff, and she was amazingly talented.
Yeah.
You're basically signing up for a crash course in how to be a professional dancer.
Yeah.
I went in there in shape, and I
Right.
still lost 9 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, Karina was like, dude, you sweat. I'm like, yeah, you think? They don't call it Lake Couture for nothing. It's called These Scars. The ones on this body, the ones on this heart, are worth their weight in silver and gold. They can be cumbersome at times, and occasionally my spirit feels tarnished, but it's that patina that gives me that unique character. It's what makes me shine the way I do. If I had it to do over again, I would not change a single one.
Nice.
Wow,
I think
that's
we need to wear
beautiful.
our scars with pride. We earn them, each and every one of them, and there's a story that goes with each and every one. And I talked to a lot of my vets about the same thing. Man, don't be bashful and shy about that stuff. You are a very unique person. Less than 1% of the population could do the things that those guys do. You're not broken. You are special. Stop letting anybody tell you that you're broken.
Amen. I've got they had to cut a pericardial window here, so I have a scar here and 2 lung tubes. And I was going to get him lasered, and everyone's like, no, don't do it.
Yeah, it's character.
Leave him. It's character,
Man,
right?
if I could walk around with these all day, what are y'all worried about?
It's not just a number, it's not just a wounded vet. You go to them and cut these checks personally.
Yeah, we went in January to Washington, D.C. as our annual sojourn there. Get to go through the wards and meet a bunch of guys fresh off the battlefield, still getting fixed up. I sat down with 12 families this year, so we gave away $120,000 on that day. It's always a good day. It's a tough day too. I always get choked up. It's hard to see those folks in that state and not get emotional, but you don't want to make them feel bad.
No,
you want to make them feel good.
Happy. You're doing something
and they
good
are.
for
They
them,
are
yeah.
happy, and when they open those envelopes, man, it's a free-for-all.
Look at
it's
you,
a
man.
shit show. So.
He's tears in his eyes, and this is a happy day. Thank you. I love you.
Love
Thank
you too, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Go do your thing.
Yeah, a lot of times this is our last stop. The Pioneer Saloon, old 1913 saloon that's still here and standing and still operating in fine fashion. They take care of us very, very well here. So a lot of times this is our final stop.
And next to you, we have BAM. So when's the next ride for you?
July 22nd is the ride in the Quad Cities. But like Randy invited me out to Bethesda, to the hospital out there, and I watched him give the checks out to wounded veterans and their families. and to see just the emotions come out of it, I was sold, obviously, at that point. Like, and what we do is so small for what they do, what they give. I'm like, I'm sold. I'll do it for the rest of my life. And I'm gonna retire in 2 years, so I'm hoping to do it a lot more.
It's just what we do. The more of us that link arms and help these guys out, the fewer of them fall through the cracks.
All right, guys, thank you so much. That has been Playing the Hits, the Rewind episodes, whatever you want to call this, with Randy Couture. So thank you to SMP Inc., JPS Computers, and to the Rock Rage Radio listeners out there. As they say, we are everywhere. That's Chase. My name's Brian. This is a Hero's Journey podcast.
Dream, and I believe it's coming around to me.